Hey Leah, how's it going? This is Courtney, and in this video, I'm just going to walk you through a few things that can help more people to find your business online. And the reason why I'm actually doing this is because business owners are just way too busy running their business, so they don't really have the time to be figuring out all the stuff that's needed for their online presence. And honestly, a lot of them also just don't know who's an expert when it comes to this kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is just show you a few things you can actually use, which are content, citations, and backlinks, right? And then if you like what you see and you want to learn more, just shoot me a message and we can chat. All right, so let's hop on into this video. So the first thing I'd like to go over is the content. And with your content, you want to make sure that you have enough words on your website. And I know that sounds simple, but let me explain. So when people search for what you do, Google has to figure out which business to show them. And the one way it does that is by reading what's on your homepage. If there's only a couple of sentences, Google's not going to know much about what your business does. And I know we talked a little bit about this earlier, so you're a bit more familiar. I'm pretty sure you're a bit more familiar with what we were talking about, right? So right now I went ahead and I put your website into a word counter. All I did was just copy all the words on here, and then you're sitting at 789 words. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. So it's not the worst thing I've seen. I also did the same thing for just the top 3 results in Fairfax, Virginia, starting with University Flower Shop. Now these guys, I remember us talking earlier, we were saying like how some businesses don't have a lot of content on there, but yet they're still ranking. These guys, I think, are number 1. I'm actually going to get into very shortly of why that's a possibility. So these guys have 309 words, so that's quite a bit less than what you have. And this is also just looking at the homepage, by the way. This word counter. So next we're going to take a look at Fairfax. I think they're ranked number 2, and these guys are looking at 16, a little over 1,600. And then we got these last guys, right? Burke Flores, and these guys are 364, right? So with this content, you want to be mindful of, the keywords that are on your website and how they are placed. And if you're not familiar with keywords are words or phrases that people search up each month to help resolve their issues or concerns. And you can miss out on a lot of those new buyers by not having the keywords on your website and by also not having them properly placed, okay? And just to give you an idea of what I mean, and I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, everything that you see highlighted, images, icons, all those things, this is what Google looks at when they scan through your site. So you want to make sure any of these things that you put on here have the proper keywords. So let's just, for example, take a look at save image as. And as you can see right here, this does not have a proper keyword. So you want to make sure all of the images and icons you have keywords, not just certain ones, all right? And I'm going to get into further detail about what I mean by keywords. So this over here is SEMrush. This is a tool that just gives me basically a behind the scenes at things that Google looks at when it comes to ranking a site. And we're just over here just to look at a couple of things, one of them being keywords. And as you can see, you are currently ranking for 39 keywords. You're ranking for 39 keywords. Let's see. All right, keywords, and then we're just going to take a look at just what some of those are. And these are what a few of your keywords are. And a little bit of a tidbit about keywords is that you don't want to just use any keywords. And the reason why is because not all keywords have like volume to them. And you being a local business, I believe you're mostly local. I'm pretty sure you do other areas too, but you want to focus on local based keywords. So keywords with your business name, you don't want to solely focus on keywords with your business name because not everybody knows your business name. So you want to be able to have keywords that are geared towards towards newer people, because that's how you attract them. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. But first, I like to go ahead and move on to your next competitors. So over here is the second competitor, University Shop, and these guys are ranking for 541. So we're just going to take a look at some of theirs. All right, so this one right here, these are very, very good example. Like, this is a perfect example. It's so the perfect keywords to use for a local business is you want like the type of service that you do, florist, and then the location, which is Fairfax, Virginia. So these are really good keywords to keep mind of, and these are ones that people are exact phrases that people are searching each month. So let's go take a look at your other competitors. Here are some more of theirs. Flower shops. This one's pretty good too. All right, and this is just giving you an idea of like the type of keywords that you want to have on your website or your homepage, just to give you an idea. And so before we move on, I just want to say, so the first thing we went over is content, and number one thing is you just want to make sure you have more words on it, at least 1,500 words. That is kind of the sweet spot with Google, which studies have shown. So next we're going to go over is I took a keyword from over here. I took a keyword and then I placed it into Google. So florist in Fairfax, VA. So this is somebody just searching this up, and this is what pops up for them, right? And then we're just going to get into the second thing that I wanted to talk about. And we talked a little bit about this as well. And that is citations, right? Which is basically just getting listed in more places. And the thing is that you want to, this is right here is called the map pack, right? This is what Google uses to give relevance to your business. And as you can see, it displays your business's name, address, and phone number. And the thing is, you want to get into the top 3, which is very huge because this is where people click. The higher you are, the more clicks you get. And how you get up there is actually pretty simple. So there are tools out there that allow us to see what citations your competition is listed on. And then you want to go ahead and put your business name, address, and phone number on hundreds of directories, right? And places like BBB, Yelp, City Star, Facebook, and many, many more. And the goal is you want to have more than your competitor, right? Because that will allow Google to trust you more, and they will bump you above them, right? So you want to match the citations that your competitor has. However, we don't just want to match them, right? We want to dominate. So in order for us to dominate, we need to get what they got and then add like 50 to 100 more, because we want them to take a long time to catch up, all right? And so these are like the citations that I was talking about, and it's just another fancy word for just getting your business information out there. And you want to be consistent. You want to make sure your name, address, and phone number is consistently placed across all of those citations. All right. So so that's with that. And then the last thing I'd like to go over with you is getting other sites to link to you, or AKA backlinks. And this is the other thing we talked about earlier. So again, you want to be in the top 3 results. The higher you are, the more clicks you get. And you basically want Google to see you as the authority, someone who just knows their stuff. And how you get authority is by having other websites link back to you. So I know you're like I know I told you a little bit about backlinks, but if you have a local news site or a community blog that mentions your business and they have to link to your website, that's them telling Google that you are legit and you're trustworthy. So Google will see that and they will give you a boost, right? And that's not all though. Not all links are created equal, right? So because you're a florist, you do flower arranging, so it's a lot more effective for you to get backlinks that make sense for your business. So like blogs about or tips, people doing tips on flower arranging or certain things like that. Those are a lot more effective than, say for instance, having something, I don't know, like a landscaping business or a concrete business pointing to you. So you want to be mindful of the type of backlinks you get, which you're already familiar with that. So now we're just going to go back over here. SEMrush is also a good tool to take a look at backlinks. You're sitting at 75 backlinks at the moment, and then we're just going to take a look at your competitors. All right, and here we are. Here's the culprit. So these guys are sitting at a little under 4K, and that explains why. It's like the major reason why they are the top one and why they're able to have a little bit of content on there is because they have a ton of backlinks linking to those guys, linking to themselves, right? And we're just going to take a look at the other guys. So 566, and these guys have 164. And a little tidbit about this, you're seeing all this, but what do I do now, right? And the cool part is, because of tools like SEMrush, well, we can see exactly which links are linking to your competition, and then we go get those exact same links for your business, right? Because if success leaves clues. So if it works for them, why wouldn't it work for you, right? So that's kind of the overall gist of everything I wanted to go over. So in closing, you want to focus on your content. So getting around 1,500 words, or at least 1,500 words on your homepage. This makes it easy for Google and potential buyers to understand your business. And 2 citations. You want to get your business name, address, and phone number listed on 200 to 300 sites. This beats out your competition by a long shot, right? And the last thing is backlinks. You want to get other relevant sites pointing to you to show Google you are the go-to in your area. You do these 3 things, and you're going to be way ahead of most of your competition, right? And so that's it for this video. Now, what you can do with this information is you can totally go ahead and do this stuff yourself. I'm cool with that. But if you want to skip the learning curve and honestly just wants to have someone handle it who's done it a bunch of times, you have my phone number. Just text me 218-517-5513. Either way, I really hope that this was helpful, and have a great day. Bye.